Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, my friends. Today I ran across today on a title today on the internet, Lucid Living. And I believe that Eckhart Tolle coined that phrase. It rings very, very strong with me, or resonates very strong with me, as it is something that I can relate very easy to. And in my effort to support the lucidness of the living, here I am. What is a lucid dream, and what is lucid living? Well, a lucid dream is a dream where you become aware that you're dreaming, and you can do all kinds of things. It doesn't take very long, and ultimately, since it's somewhat incompatible you wake up and now here you are awake, and we're talking about lucid living, and that's the same thing. Well, but you may say, I am awake. Well, maybe you're enough awake to not bump into furniture. This is nothing personal. It is a human condition. Millions of humans are still totally identified with their mind and what's going on there, with no option to what I call the vertical dimension. There's the horizontal and the vertical dimension. Was no option of that. On the horizontal dimension, everything goes one after the next, and on the vertical dimension, there is a depth all of a sudden to your existence that is like a different dimension, and that you could almost compare or say is the lucidness. You become aware that there are thoughts, and maybe the choice of believing them or not. In other words, you can introduce the question, is this true? I don't know how to example this right now. Maybe you say, it's a hard day. You could question that if you can and say, well, it's not a hard day, turn it around, it's an easy day. The turnarounds are turnarounds, but the extra sweetness in that is that you, in the very moment you're questioning, you step out, or have a possibility to step out and you don't necessarily have to believe it. You have a choice. A choice is introduced, and that is a form of waking up, of into what's going on, and you might become more present that way. Well, actually, it's not you might, you certainly will, because the thoughts, the past and the future that's constantly going in your thoughts, when that subsides, or even being just observed, that's what you're doing, then the lucidness has set in. And you might be able to free yourself from the prison of mind, which is often expressed also as a dream, another dream. So you wake up from the night dream and you go into a daydream, the daydream. And if you are also become aware of that, and a lucidness sets in, freedom is introduced. It happens to some people when life gets really tough and the burdens are unbearable. The burdens are unbearable, but sometimes they have to be so unbearable. Oh my goodness. And of course, if you follow a spiritual teacher, maybe they don't have to become that heavy, but often, or now and then, or I'm aware of when in your life it gets so hard that the burdens are unbearable. Maybe something breaks, and in that crack, when something breaks, the light can come through. Well, anyway, I don't want to make it too long. I would like you to not get intimidated by the length of the video. I'm not having a big draw and people say, oh my God, the longer the better. It's free. I don't want to lose your attention, but I am more and more asked by that wish to share what I know without raising the idea of superiority. I'm not hunting for, oh, this guy knows something and feel morally superior. I did experience a gradual awakening from the dream, and I would like to share, if I possibly could. If I possibly could share the world. I've been told by Eckhart Tolle that it is in bitter need of wisdom and awakening has that in its toe, and I'm not the wisest of all. There's more powerhouses, Byron Katie, Moji, Eckhart Tolle, and please, whoever can help you, that is the point. But you could contemplate my contribution. Everybody has a unique way of expressing a very similar thing. It's about waking up, experiencing life to its fullest. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back with more, perhaps along a similar line here. I like very much to start with the lucid living idea or expression, and it's good to follow. Thank you again very much for listening. Hopefully it helps what I say. It certainly helps me to say it. Check those out. Eckhart Tolle, he has millions and millions of followers. Byron Katie, same thing. These are powerhouses, and in the spiritual circle, Modi also certainly the stars. But to consciousness wants to share itself, and that is what, when it wakes in you, oh, this is one of my tries. Again, thank you. Have a good evening, and see you soon. Bye bye. Oh yes, I should say like and subscribe, as that helps my channel tremendously. I am working hard of finding traction in the world of spiritual awakenings, and that helps that if you like and subscribe. Again, thank you, and have a good morning, evening, night, whatever, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.